10 reasons why being poor is more expensive. Everything we do always matters. From getting off the bed to punching out of work, our daily habits become part of us, thus shaping out our world. In fact, the routine we follow plays a big role into the health of our finances. Nothing happens until actions are taken. Therefore, you can't sit around waiting for success to happen. You have to make it come to you. Contrary to popular belief, success starts with you. It is the growth of a mustard seed over time. In other words, a byproduct of discipline, hard work, dedication, nutrition, learning, networking, and a little bit of luck. A lot of people have several misconceptions about becoming rich. Some think it's a matter of luck, like winning the lottery. Others believe it can solely be a product of receiving an inheritance, like getting money from a relative. Most think you should just marry someone who's already accomplished and rip off the benefits. As stated earlier, the poor stay poor while the rich get richer. In fact, several studies have shown that poor people aren't willing to do what rich people are willing to do. In fact, most of them tend to stay in low-paying jobs that they must work to survive. They lack the motivation and work ethic to do things outside of work. They aren't willing to learn the necessary skills. They aren't willing to sacrifice anything. They don't want to step out of their comfort zone. They don't want to delay gratification, and etc. Dear future entrepreneurs and moguls, here are 10 reasons why being poor is more expensive. Number 1. The poor are very gullible. The poorest people often procrastinate because they are afraid of failing at the tasks that they need to complete. Instead, they will rather waste time on trivial things and will rather look for shortcuts to reach success. Furthermore, they enjoy blaming the world for everything that isn't right in their life, and they try to avoid all responsibility for anything that goes wrong. Rather than taking ownership of their lives, moreover, being desperate to do anything for money, the poor are willing to jump on any occasion that presents itself, thus making them easy prey for scammers. Number 2. Poor people take out loans to make ends meet. Poor people don't generally make enough money to be able to live a comfortable life. Killing themselves, working more than 80 hours per week on a minimum wage is not enough to allow them to pay their bills, eat, drink, and possibly invest for a better future. Therefore, their last resort is to borrow money they are unable to repay in order to be able to make ends meet. With a lack of financial knowledge, they don't understand that any money borrowed must be repaid with interest. Else, additional fees will be charged and your credit history will be affected drastically. Number 3. Banks favor rich people over poor people. The wealthy always have an advantage over poor people. They have preferable treatment and easier access to the money produced by the banking system in the form of loans because they can offer collateral. They can offer real estate as a collateral for new loans, using these loans to buy even more real estate or stocks, pushing up the prices. Poor people generally have more difficulties to obtain loans in normal conditions because they usually don't own any asset. Number 4. Poor people cut buy in bulk to advantage of savings. Most poor people don't generally have enough money to buy the things they want to buy. When you buy an item in bulk, you're almost always saving money on each use of that product. Just imagine if you save 10 cents on something you use daily, that's $36.50 in savings per year. Furthermore, buying in bulk is cheaper than buying in smaller quantity because it costs the producers and suppliers less to sell them that way. Moreover, risk, wastage, and labor costs all go down if you're producing, distributing, and selling in bulk. Number 5. Poor people pay more in fees. A late fee is a charge consumers pay when they fail to make a payment on a debt, such as a loan or a credit card, or any other type of financial agreement, such as an insurance or rental contract, by the due date. The more payments a person misses, the more they will have to pay in late fees, and they can also expect to see a big hit on your credit report. It's important to make your payments on time, not only to avoid late payment fees, but also because your payment history makes up about 35% of your FICO score. Number 6. Poor people tend to have bad diet. Low income is typically associated with a poor quality dietary intake. Compared to those with higher income, lower income individuals consume fewer fruits and vegetables, more sugar-sweetened beverages, and have lower overall diet quality. Furthermore, poor people spend such a large share of their incomes on food, leaving them vulnerable to high food prices. Many poor people obtain much of their income from minimum wage jobs or jobs that only pay cash, leaving them vulnerable to declines in agricultural output. Number 7. The poor don't have access to good health care. Having health insurance is important for several reasons. Uninsured people receive less medical care and less timely care. They have worse health outcomes, and lack of insurance is a fiscal burden for them and their families. Furthermore, the benefits of expanding coverage outweigh the costs for added services. Moreover, great healthcare aims to prevent and reduce risks, errors, and harm that occur to patients during provision of healthcare. Quality healthcare services is important for promoting and maintaining health, preventing and managing disease, reducing unnecessary disability and premature death, and achieving health equity for all people. Number 8. The poor can't afford to own homes, and landlords take advantage of that. With renter households growing at a faster rate than owner households, landlords are at an advantage in the rental market. For some landlords, pride of ownership is part of the allure. It can be rewarding to be able to confidently manage and make decisions concerning the property you own. For others, the monetary benefits as well as the security of owning rental property are what motivate them to increase their clientele. The key to success as a beginner rental property investors is learning how to assess the value of properties, choosing the right location, understanding market conditions, and most importantly, finding great tenants. Number 9. Poor people are socially excluded. Social exclusion is a form of discrimination. It occurs when people are wholly or partially excluded from participating in the economic, social, and political life of their community, based on their belonging to a certain social class, category, or group. As more successful people tend to hang around each other, more poor people tend to hang around each other, thus making it difficult for people in each class to mingle. Number 10. Being poor leaves you with limited choices. When you're first starting out, sometimes the only way you can get job experience is through unpaid internships. If you're poor, this is not a route you can take. Other situations that affect opportunity in the workplace include not being able to move for a job, not being able to get experience for better jobs, not being able to pay for needed training or education, or not being able to interview. In conclusion, the poor stay poor while the rich get richer. In fact, several studies have shown that poor people aren't willing to do what rich people are willing to do. In fact, most of them tend to stay in low-paying jobs that they must work to survive. They lack the motivation and work ethic to think outside of work. They aren't willing to learn the necessary skills. They aren't willing to sacrifice anything. They don't want to step out of their comfort zone, and they don't want to delay their gratification, and even more things. The end. Thank you.